This is MC Tone from the 757 Spin Number, the Truth. Back to y'all with another video. And today it's the NFL team breakdown. Y'all know what time it is. And today it's the Tennessee Titans, coached by Mike Vrabel, who is he's not even upcoming, man. He's just a good head coach. I think he's gonna sooner or later, people are gonna start really recognizing how good of a job he's done with the Tennessee Titans. You know, what he did in the playoffs was great, especially what he did against the Patriots with the punting thing. It was brilliant. He basically used Belichick's method against him, and like Mike Vrabel doesn't get enough credit. He comes from that Bill Belichick tree, man, and he's a great head coach. He fits Tennessee. He fits that aura, A lot of coaches they get hired and they don't fit the city, but Mike Vrabel, he fits the Tennessee Titans in that state. He's done a great job with the franchise. The defense has definitely been great, and they just picked up Jadeveon Clowney, so that defense is going to be looking even more better. You got Ryan Tannehill, who finally seems like he's found a home. And shout out to Ryan Tannehill, man. A lot of people counted him out, thinking that he wasn't going to do anything for the rest of his career. Good job for him for bouncing back, taking advantage of that opportunity, and having a great year. I don't think he gets too much credit of why Tennessee made the playoffs, because there was a stretch where Ryan Tannehill was playing like a great or one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So shout out to Ryan Tannehill for improving his game, taking adversity in stride, and doing his best and taking that team to the playoffs. Because the run game didn't work. The run game was working when Ryan Tannehill was especially clicking too. So shout out to him. And let me get on with the video. The Tennessee Titans, coached by Mike Vrabel, draft picks Isaiah Wilson. I think he's gonna have some time to develop. I got Kelly in at the offensive tackle position. I know he could probably fit him at guard, but right now I think the best option is to sit him, let him watch the game a little bit. He's probably gonna need some time to develop. He was picked later in the draft, in a deep offensive tackle draft, like I said. But I think he's gonna be solid if you give him a few. Like a year or two to sit before he going on and facing some of these elite pass rushers. Quarterback Christian Fowen out of LSU. Christian Fowen has a lot of potential. He has a lot of potential. Great cornerback. Has some inconsistencies at LSU, but I definitely think with Mike Vrabel, what he can do defensively, he can improve under his system. Like I said, a lot of talent. You got running back Darrington Evans. I think they had depth at the running back position around Derrick Henry, just in case he gets hurt. Defense tackle Larrell Mutchinson. Like I said, y'all let go of Jarrell Casey. I think that was a huge loss for y'all, especially what he was for Tennessee for all those years. So losing him was definitely a shocking loss, but I need to add a little depth there. Quarterback Cole McDonald's, who I think was cut, and defensive back Chris Marshall. Some key acquisitions, like I said, Ryan Tannehill. Do I agree with this contract? I think y'all got him for a good value, especially what y'all paying these quarterbacks nowadays. Would I've locked him up long term after one good season with the team? I don't know. I would have I would have likely franchise tagged him, but I understand y'all use that for Derrick Henry, because the running back market is kind of iffy right now, especially what running backs are asking from this market, or what teams are wanting to pay running backs. So at the end of the day, it was the best move. I think Ryan Tannehill, he's a solid quarterback, and if you feel like he fits that system, and it's hard to find consistent quarterback play, and if he brung out to the playoffs, hey, don't fix it if it ain't broken. So I think Ryan Tannehill is gonna be a great move. Hopefully he can continue with the consistency. You got Derrick Henry, who I think is probably top 3 out of the running backs. Derrick Henry had a breakout year, definitely during the playoffs. Nobody wanted to tackle him. And one thing about Derrick Henry, he's not that he's big, but he's fast, and he's agile for his size. I've never seen a guy that agile, that big, and moves with that kind of speed that he does, and he's hard to bring down, So he was very hard to tackle in that playoff game. He was probably your most valuable player all season long. Derrick Henry is a great running back. Vic Beasley, it was a questionable signing. It was the COVID thing. He didn't report to camp immediately, and I've heard he failed his physical. So that's kind of questionable, like what's going on with that situation. And I think this was probably just a bad signing, but Hey, hopefully he can contribute in some type of way. Dennis Kelly's gonna be replacing Jock Conklin. I think he did an admirable job. McCole Pruitt, who's gonna be the blocking tight end. Offensive tackle Tyson Borrioli at the offensive tackle position. Kamali Korea at the linebacker position. Nick Dubar at the linebacker position. Def at the linebacker position. And Jack Crawford at the defensive tackle position. Like I said, the offense was actually shockingly good. It was ranked it was top 10, actually, number 8 to be more specific. The Tennessee Titans, they were offensive plays, 30th time of possession, 26 points, 10th yards, 12 passing yards, 21 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns, 3rd rushing touchdowns, 2nd red zone touchdowns, 7th overall touchdowns, 3rd. And that's just as key, man. Or can you punch in the ball? Red zone touchdown, 7th. If you can score points, I think that's definitely in capital tries. That's a recipe for winning. And Ryan Tannehill, he definitely molded that offense a little bit. And he seemed comfortable, whereas Marcus Mariota was alright, but he didn't really fit it. He was kind of injury prone. Like I said, Ryan Tannehill was just great for y'all, man. It was a good pickup for y'all. Y'all brought him in to compete with Marcus Mariota or add a little pressure on him. He got his opportunity. He played well. So that was a good pickup for y'all. The defense was pretty good, man. I just want to I'm gonna name y'all in a second in this video about the defense. I haven't talked about it enough, but defense 12, yards 21st, passing yards 24, passing touchdown 17, rushing yards 12, rushing touchdown 17, red zone touchdown 21, overall touchdowns 12, time of possession 25th. Some key acquisitions. Key players, excuse me, it's Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. I think A.J. Brown is a low-key wide receiver, man. I don't think he gets enough credit, man. He's one of y'all best wide receivers. He was a great draft pick out of Ole Miss. So shout out to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, a former first rounder, and Adam Humphries makes up a solid wide receiver group. Jonnu Smith, I expect a big season out of him, replacing Delaney Walker. You got Taylor Lewan and Roger Saffold at the solid offensive line. They have a solid offensive line. Jeffery Simmons at the D. He's gonna have a monster season. If you don't know who Jeffery Simmons is, you're gonna see how violent he is, man. He flashed during that Ravens game. I seen him. He flashed. He made some good plays. He's gonna he's gonna be that defensive stalwart that Casey was for y'all for so many years. So I expect big things out of him this year. Jadeveon Clowney. Hey, everybody wanted Jadeveon, and like I said, Jadeveon Clowney, when he's healthy, he's one of the best defensive players on the field. Even when he's not healthy, he's just such a threat because he's big, he's physical. He's one of the best he's one of the best rushing when it comes to rushing the ball. He definitely holds down his side. He gets pressure on the quarterback, and I think that was just a big sign for that defense. That defense was good last year, and you got Jayon Brown, Malcolm Butler, who's okay, Kenny Vaccaro, and Kevin Bird and Dor Jackson make up the secondary, and I like it. It's a very solid, not the best, but very solid. They play as a group. I think Malcolm Butler is okay. Yeah, and I want to talk about a specific player, Rashaan. Rashaan Evans did a great job in that Ravens games too. I didn't mention that enough. He definitely controlled Lamar Jackson. I seen him sideline to sideline sometimes keep up with Lamar Jackson. He doesn't get enough credit. He's one of the best linebackers in football. Very low key, very underrated. That guy, if you haven't seen him yet, I think Tennessee Titans have found somebody in the middle that I was just blown away by when I was watching that Ravens game because he was all over the field. I think he was a first-round pick out of Alabama, and he's definitely proven why he was a first-round pick out of Alabama. So shout out to y'all. I think Tennessee, y'all got a bright future. I think y'all can still go back to the AFC Championship game. Coached very well. Defense is pretty good. You got Derrick Henry. You got Ryan Tannehill, who made up a solid quarterback running back tandem. And you got A.J. Brown, who to me can be your primary wide receiver. It's just that can Ryan Tannehill just be more consistent as he was last year. So hey, we'll get to know. Let me know. Comment, subscribe if you like the video. Tone out. Thank you.